Today, I did the most gruesome thing one can possibly imagine. I went to the dentist in Japan! Because everything's better in Japan. Although the dentist, maybe not so much. You might be wondering what the differences are between a Japanese dentist and in my case, the British dentist, but it will probably apply to wherever you are. Let me go over exactly what happened. First, since I finished the dentist, I can now enjoy some candy and hot chocolate. Now, few people will genuinely claim a visit to the dentist is an exciting opportunity, but I was interested to see what exactly would be different all the way from home, and there was quite a few things. Now, firstly, you may be wondering, do you speak Japanese? Well, Nihongo wa sukoshi wakarimasu. Not so good, but I am in Tokyo currently, and there are a plethora of English-speaking dentist options. I'm not going to say who I use today, just so I don't bias anyone one way or the other when my experience was fine. But suffice to say, I had all of my exchanges in English, from the emails to the documentation, well, most of it, to the actual checkups themselves. The staff members, when talking to each other, spoke Japanese, and when spoken to me, they put in some Japanese words, but it was mostly ones I actually understood, such as chotto or tabun, which luckily I knew, so I got the context when they were speaking to me. But as far as the actual sign-up process, very simple, fill out some basic questionnaires in English, and then go for the checkup. Now, you may or may not know, but all medical care in Japan is paid for, not least the dentist. Now, I'm enrolled in the Japanese health system because I am a citizen here this year, so I do have a discount card that meant for my first appointment I could get a discount because of that service. But that didn't apply to every product they offer, as we'll soon see. Now, for my first visit, I just wanted a checkup because I've not been there for 6 months and my diet has changed a lot. This is just the candy I'm having after this video. So I wanted to make sure that everything was okay, and spoilers, it wasn't. I booked the checkup, and in the UK, if you wanted to book a dentist appointment, you're waiting about 2 to 3 months in advance, but this was only 2 to 3 days. So it was really nice to be able to book and then instantly get in somewhere. Now, on the day, they charged me for 3 separate things. One was just the general checkup, but they also charged me separately for like a gum inspection. That's not a regular checkup, apparently. And then also to use the x-ray so that they could have something to check against. So interestingly, every dentist I've been to before, the x-ray is kind of what gives them a lot of the information to do the checkup. But if I didn't want to pay for it here, they'd just be like, okay, we'll just have a look. Oh, in the x-ray machine? It was nothing like the UK. In the UK, they leave the room, they push a button, they come back in. This one has some weird swirly thing that goes around your head, which I've never seen in England. In total, that came to about 4,000 yen. But interestingly, they wouldn't tell me this figure before I got there on the day. I sent 3 separate emails to them, that's 6, 3 separate emails to them, trying to get them to tell me how much it would cost. And they said it would be from 4,000 yen. I said, okay, but I need to know it's not gonna be 1,000,000 yen. They're like, okay, but it's gonna be, we don't know what you want, so it's gonna be from 4,000. I said, okay, if I just want to check up, how much is it? 4,000 yen. That's fine, and then we can go from there. So I had the checkup, and sadly, maybe I've not been taking care of my teeth as well, maybe I've been busy, maybe it's all the delicious ramen I've been eating. But I did indeed need a filling, and they highly advise you have a cleaning done beforehand. They seemed to say it was required, but then later implied it wasn't, but I thought I'd go for it because my dentist in the UK did advise I get one before I left, but I couldn't because it was a 3-month wait. So I had to book the appointment. And when was the next appointment available? Well, it was about 6 days away. So that's pretty reasonable wait time. So I paid for my day and then waited 6 days for today when I've just been to the dentist. The checkup itself was as I'd expect it in England. They just go through your teeth and I don't know what they do, but it felt about the same way, except for one detail. In England, when you're getting your checkup done or getting a procedure done, you just kind of stare at the light ahead or close your eyes or whatever you like. But in Japan, they covered your eyes, not with something this big, just with a little towel, but this is what I had at hand. And I actually kind of like this. It kind of made it easier to relax. You kind of distance yourself from it a bit. You don't have to wonder where you're looking. They know that you're not looking at anything. You're just there to open your mouth. But anyway, the day comes with the main procedure, and now I arrive on the day for my actual filling. And it's pretty similar to the UK with a few differences that I think are worth noting. Again, there's a towel over the face when you're doing either the cleaning or the actual filling, just whatever you're doing, don't look at what we're doing. And then they did do my numbing first. They numbed inside my mouth and then said, well, that's settling in, we'll get your cleaning done. So they seemed like they wanted to be quite efficient. As far as another difference went, before they actually put like the numbing in, they put some like pads inside my cheeks that like start to numb it, so that it's a bit numb before they do the prickly numbness, which I think made it a little bit less painful, which is appreciated. Now, I don't really know in depth about the tools they use and how they're different, but there was 2 different tiers. I could either opt for with insurance or without insurance. They said you could go for the 4,000 yen option with the health subsidy, or about 10,000, 11,000 yen without it. I went for the more expensive one because my dentist in the UK did advise I get this, and I'd kind of forgotten it was 6 months later. So I just wanted to take care of this because there's already clearly something wrong. And then for the actual filling, again, you can kind of have a subsidy from the government, and then you get about 10,000 yen, or it was about 30,000 yen, I can't remember the top of my head, to get it without. And I've always thought with fillings, it's there for the rest of your life. So I've always opted on that's worth spending the money. So it's a very expensive day, but what can you do? So the cleaning, I opened my mouth got very dry as it does. They blast all sorts of things in there. They went very deep in between each tooth. It did feel a lot cleaner coming out of that. And then we got onto the filling, where they did say they wanted to do it in another room, which was interesting because not all the rooms have the same equipment. So I waited a few minutes and then we went in. The staff did speak pretty good English. We had a few laughs and small talks. Like at one point they said, oh, they're just cleaning the other room, so we'll just wait. I said, okay. 2 seconds later, we said, okay, it's ready. And I was like, wow, that was really quick. And then they like had a little laugh, so it was good. And also I said I ate food, and they heard the word 8. I'm just like, why is he saying the number 8? Hatch? And then like, oh, that sounds exactly the same. Just things you don't realize. So we had a good laugh about it. Then I went in for the filling, face covered, mouth wide, heard a little bit here and there as it does, but you know, most of the time it's just sitting down and whatever they're doing gets done to you. But the interesting difference was they took pictures during and after and actually kind of showed you the damage that was inside your tooth, which is an angle I've never seen before. You kind of see your pearly whites and you see when people have had lots of stuff going on, I've never been to a dentist and they've shown me inside before, and you can actually see the damage that's happened. So you can actually see what they've done. You can see that the whole dentist industry isn't just a lie. There is actually damage that you can physically see. It was brown in there, it was nasty, it needed doing, and they showed me afterwards and now it's pearly white again. So it was actually really interesting and helpful to get to see that. Then the last thing they did that was a bit different, they put a bunch of fluoride in my mouth, which we've never had that in the UK, but I'm like, does it cost anything? No, it's free. So yeah, we went with that. One very interesting thing to note is, like I said, everything costs money, and they said a lot of these costs beforehand. But on the day, as I was sat there on the operating table with half of my mouth feeling very numb, and I just had a teeth cleaning, so my throat was dry, they were like, oh, by the way, we're going to look at this tooth. If that tooth needs doing, that'll be about an extra 10,000 yen. And like, it was really interesting. This wasn't said beforehand. This wasn't like something that I'd asked for. I mean, but obviously I want teeth health and they knew that. So that means even if you think you're going to the dentist and you know what you want, be prepared that they might just bamboozle you and say, hey, I know you're kind of not totally there right now. I wasn't drugged up, it's just the whole scenario, you know? But do you want to pay an extra 10,000 yen potentially? And I'm like, I guess if it needs doing, but in the end it didn't actually need doing. They looked at it and it didn't. So they're not just trying to scam you out of whatever money they can. They didn't actually charge me this because they looked and saw it didn't need doing, which was reassuring for the future. And then that was it. So I went to leave, I went to pay, and they're like, oh, it's your birthday this month, right? And it is, my birthday's in January. So there was 2 bonuses for that. They actually cut about 3,000 yen off my bill because it was my birthday month, which I was like, what? So in Japan, if I need to get like a procedure done, I should wait until it's my birthday month? Like, I'm thankful that I saved the money, but I just like that, thought that was crazy. And they also gave me a little happy birthday set in English with some mouthwash and some toothpaste. Japanese toothpaste. That's probably good ones because dentists tend to recommend good ones, so I'm thankful for that. This is like a nice reasonable gesture. It's just a free extra thing, but like the fact that if I was like in pain from dentistry on like mid-December, I gotta be like, I guess I should wait 2 weeks to save some money. Like, I just think that's so strange. It's good. Saving money is great. I'm thankful that I did, but it was the last thing I expected. And then the very last thing they did say, which I've never had a dentist say before, is like, oh, you know, it's quite hard to do these materials. So if your jaw feels uneven, we can fix that for free after it's numbed down. And like, I'm clenching now and I've never noticed this. I'm thinking, does it feel okay? Is it the one that they've done, or could it have been a previous one? Like, I can feel that they're not entirely even right now, so I'm gonna sleep on it and then maybe email tomorrow, because yeah, it does feel a bit like I can clench this side and then this side isn't completely done. Can I do the other way? No, so maybe I might not be entirely even, in which case I'll fix that for free, but I'll worry about that tomorrow. So that's my very brief rundown on what it's like to go to a Japanese dentist. Ooh. If you had any questions or any fears or any worries, it was a lovely, I was about to say it's a lovely time. It's not a lovely time, it's for dentists. But as far as a dentist goes, it was fine. So thanks very much for watching. This has just been a in my bedroom video because it was hopefully some useful information, and I'll be going back to some more travels very soon. So thanks for watching, and get some ramen when you're in Japan. It might ruin your teeth, but it's very good. Bye for now.